she was a good baker.
Uh-huh.
And
so she would send you home with this peanut brittle type of stuff, and
yeah, she'd send, let's see, we went to Des Moines in November at Thanksgiving and took the kids. And Gertrude was supposed to watch them until we went back. We went down, I think, the 1st of January, something like that. I'm telling you, her and the kids fought all the time.
This is your kids you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. How old were they then? Like teenagers?
Teenagers, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And she wanted them to take a nap every day.
Oh, my gosh. Because she had no idea how it was with kids, and teenagers don't nap.
No.
Okay.
No. And, no, she didn't, and I guess it was wrong. Then she told everybody that we didn't send any money. You know, we did. And I had receipts and stuff to prove it. And, but we sent what I got from their father. I always sent it to her. And,
so why would she keep the kids? Because you guys worked, or she volunteered?
we lived here and she lived down there.
So did
We bought Nana's house, and so she lived there. So when we went there was 3 bedrooms upstairs, and there was hardly any furniture. We took the furniture. We pulled our trailer down. We had a 24-foot trailer. We took the Davenport from the trailer and put it in the house, and expected her. It made a bed, you know. Well, she didn't think that would be the way. She thought she should keep the big bedroom upstairs. And that we should sleep down there. Well, maybe we should have, I don't know. But it wasn't the way it worked out. She was a little bit upset. And then my aunt, I had twin aunts there. And they'd call and they'd say, "Is Phyllis around? We'd like to talk to Phyllis." "No, she's not here," and I'd be sitting right there.
Why would she do that kind of stuff?
She was sort of ornery.
Maybe she picked that up from your mom.
My grandmother.
Your grandmother?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you think part of why she never had any kids is because you had so many and she found it complicated, maybe?
Maybe.
Taking care of kids?
She was jealous or something.
What did you call Grandpa? Did you call him, what was his name? Francis Phillip? So did you call him Francis or did you call him Phil? What did you call him?
Oh, let's see. Pat.
Oh, Patrick Francis. So you would call him Pat. I see. Francis Phillip is Uncle Phil's name.
Yeah.
Ah, that's what it was. Okay, because I know they're all mixed in. Those names are all mixed in. Wow. So you got married and you had all those kids right in a row. And were you working while you had all the young children? It was just not possible back then, right?
It worked. God, I think I worked in a little factory at one time. I don't know.
How old were you when Aunt Nancy was born?
Nancy's 20 years younger than me.
Wow, so you were 20. Wow. And did you have any miscarriages in between then? Or just straight births?
Oh, no.
Just
Once
straight
I got
births.
pregnant, I was pregnant.
Wow. So it was easy for you to get pregnant and keep a baby and stuff like that. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, putting a stop to it was probably the best thing that ever happened to you.
You know, because I see fathers now helping take care of the kids, changing diapers. You think he'd have done that? No, that's not his job.
So when you had that many kids to take care of, would it be that by the time my mom was born, that Aunt Nancy had to help out?
Oh, yeah.
Because she was older?
Yeah.
And did they stay at home a lot, playing with each other and things like that, or did they go out with their friends?
They didn't have much of a life.
No? But, so do you think they ever feel bad feelings about that or anything? Have you guys ever talked about that kind of stuff?
Some of them, Judy resents. Judy resents her life. She's the one. I don't know.
It's a lot of responsibility having that many kids.
There's other ones that resented it, but...
Did you baptize all of them Catholic? Was Pat Catholic? Oh, he was Catholic too.
Yeah, he was Catholic.
Was he raised with the church and going to church religiously, or?
Well, not
in his
really.
behavior. His behavior was definitely not church-like.
Right.
You know? So, wow. And when did you guys divorce?
When? When he was in prison.
I don't even know what time frame that was. So you could divorce back then without him agreeing or him signing off? Like now you have to sign off and stuff like that?
I had to take the papers. I went to this lawyer. And I told him my story. We talked and I said, now what are your charges? He said, Madam, this is all free. He said, I never saw anybody that needed a divorce more than you do.
Wow. That was the lawyer? Wow. Wow, that's good.
He made out the papers. I took them up there to the prison. He signed them. That was it.
And he died in prison? Did he die in prison or no?
No.
I think he died in 1987.
I don't know.
Something like that, in the 80s.
See,
I think it was 1987.
I think the last time I saw him was when Philip was sick. And Gertrude, my sister, and I were babysitting Philip in the daytime so Sheila could work. And he come busting in the door. That's my son, and I'll see him if I want to. I said, if he's asleep, don't you dare wake him up. Because he needed it. He needed his rest. Well, he woke him up.
Because he was so self-centered. Very selfish man.
He's my son. Well, he was my son too, but I mean, Philip was closer to me than he was his dad. His dad was no good.
So you had all of those kids. What did he do for a job to provide for the kids? If he wasn't taking care of them, wasn't he paying for them?
Let's see. He worked as a... I can't remember. He worked as a... God, I can't remember what he did. It was like a manual job, painting and...
Oh, like a handyman?
Yeah, sort of.
Or a carpenter? No.
Yeah.
It was a carpenter, I believe.
Yeah.
Like a handyman, like a carpenter. Yeah, something like that. But still, how could that pay wages to support 9 kids? How could that make enough money to support? Do you think that like, you raised the kids the best that you could, but they had to have hand-me-downs, they had to have...
Oh, yeah.
Everything went as far as it possibly could? and stuff like that?
Yeah.
What were your meals like? What were dinners and stuff like that like with the kids?
Oh, we ate well.
Mhm.
We didn't.
Did you have a garden?
I don't know if we did or not. I don't think so.
Mhm.
We might have. The kids and I took care of it if we did.
Uh-huh. And how long did you live on Playfair Terrace?
Oh, let's see. I don't know.
Mhm. You raised a lot of the kids there, though. My mom said that's where she grew up.
Yeah,
And that's 1953 that she was born.
yeah. One day, she got mad at me for something.
Mhm.
She was only 3 or 4.
Mhm.
And she went out the front door. There was no porch. It was just 3 steps.
Mhm.
And she went out and she was sitting at the end of those steps.
Mhm.
She had a doll with her.
Mhm.
So I thought, well, the best thing to do, just leave her there and she'll cool off, you know.
Mhm.
I went looking for her and she was gone.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we called the state police, and there was kids on horseback that rode around that neighborhood a lot, and they all started looking for her.
Mhm.
And finally the state police called me and said, do you live near Green Lake Road? And I said, yes, about a block and a half.
Mhm.
Well, we know where your little girl is. And she had been, Green Lake Road was a busy highway.
Mhm.
She was walking right down the middle of it with her doll.
Oh my gosh.
And the minister of the Presbyterian Church lived at the end of our street on Green Lake Road.
Mhm.
And she happened to look out and see her. So she didn't want her killed. She went out and got her and brought her in and
Mhm.
and gave her cookies and milk, and I got a hold of her. I didn't know whether to hug her or beat her butt, you know.
Wow.
But yeah,
Wow.
that we lived on Playfair then.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
What do you remember the most about with having all the kids and stuff? What are some good times that you remember?
Oh, I don't know. We always had a good time at birthdays.
Mhm.
You know, we never had big parties or anything, but everybody got their own cake, and
Mhm.
I don't know,
What would they get for a present?
nothing.
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 Just a cake and stuff like that?
Mhm.
Because you think that somehow that's why a lot of them like stuff too? That they collect a lot of things because maybe when they were little they didn't get that choice?
Could be.
Because it seems like they all collect something.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what Aunt Nancy collects, but you see that Mom collects a lot of different stuff. Aunt Karen collected pigs for as long as I can remember.
I can't remember. Nancy does collect something.
Mhm. Dolls, plates.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Mhm.
I'll have to ask her.
Right? Did the kids play sports and stuff like that, or was that possible to do those things?
No,
No.
they got gypped a lot.
Mhm. Did you ever think that, you wish that you could have changed things? Mom said one time that when Uncle Mike was born, you told her that he was very colicky and that he would only be calmed down when your
mother.
your mother would rock him.
Yeah.
And that it made you sort of like you just didn't want to have any more kids, or what was the story about that?
Well, my doctor told me. He
Mhm.
said, you've got to stop this. He said, if something happens to you, who do you think's going to take care of those kids?
Mhm.
He said, I'll tell you right now, it won't be your husband.
Mhm.
He was very honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
So he made arrangements, and we lied to the old man, told him we had to write a letter so I could be sterilized or whatever they
legally.
call it. Okay, and we lied. The doctor lied to him, and I lied to him and told him there was a Catholic priest on the board that passed these letters. Listen.
Just so you could stop having children.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
mean, Pat was the ugliest thing you ever saw.
Pat was, Uncle Pat was.
he looked like a little ratty monkey.
Oh, was he premature, or were they all born?
They were born when they were supposed to be. He was, and I thought, oh my God, if they're going to start coming out like that, we got to do something, you know. And then the doctor told me, he said, you better start to think who's going to be taking care of these children, because so I'll tell you right now, it won't be your husband.
Because you had 9 kids in 10 years.
I guess 11.
You did. She was, I think Aunt Nancy was born.
She was born
in 42 or 44? 42. And Karen was born in 46.
Yeah.
So, was she born in 42 or 44? You said you were in 20, so 42.
Well, if I was born in 22...
She was born in 42.
She was 20 years...
She's 20 years different.
I was 20 years older than me.
Yeah, so she was born like in 42. So from 42 to 54, 12 years, you had 9 kids. That's crazy. For your uterus, for your body, for your hormones, for your mind. So it's good that that it came to a stop. So thinking about that stuff, the women's right to choose, the women's right to vote, how women really didn't have rights. How did that affect you? How did you, when you were born, women had just earned the right to vote in 13 years prior to you being born. So it was still a relatively new thing, and even things I've studied about feminism show that even women having the right to vote, they didn't even exercise that right to vote because their husbands didn't allow them to vote, or husbands didn't want them to. So how did that make you feel as a woman growing up and then raising women?
I resented it, I think, a lot. But I never knew what to do about it. Or, I guess.
Did you want to teach your girls that they have rights, though? You didn't want them to just get married off, did you? I mean, what did you want for them?
I don't know. We didn't have much to say about it, Lindsay.
Did they all graduate high school?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Did you graduate high school?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did you have things like prom, like the dances?
Yeah, I went to mine.
Wow. And did you have boyfriends in high school, or just boys you hung out, or was it like girls on one side, boys on the other? Wow, sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. Because when they're commingled is when the problems come. Wow. So you were growing up basically in the Detroit area.
No.
Most of your life?
Pontiac. And Waterford.
And Waterford? Wow. Yeah, but it seemed like it was a nice place to live. When you see the old historical pictures of Pontiac, it had a cute downtown, and I think there was a movie theater, right? Did you guys go to a movie theater?
Yeah, there was 2.
2 of them?
One was down towards south. The south, it was the State Theater. Then there was one up closer, but I can't remember. It wasn't the Orpheum. I know the State was down there. I can't remember what the other one was. There was 2 or 3 theaters then. on Saginaw was the main street.
So what did people do? They looked forward to going to the movies? Was it only like Friday nights? Or?
And Friday night, everybody went downtown. The sidewalks downtown were just full of people. You know.
How did women dress? Skirts and tops, or because when did women start wearing pants more that you remember?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Probably the 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
The 50s housewife, typical 50s housewife, was definitely in a dress.
Right.
Definitely. So I would say 60s or 70s with the changes.
We had a terrible time with Ed's mother. He told her she should wear slacks because, well, they lived in Maine and it's cold there. And she would be warmer. But do you think that stubborn old lady? No.
Only
Women
skirts.
are supposed to wear dresses.
Dresses. Wow. And what about stockings? Would you guys always wear stockings? Like now, women don't really wear pantyhose very much, but you guys, that was a staple to wear stockings. Because I know in one of the shows Jim and I have watched recently, they were talking about rationing during the war, and they rationed stockings. And why is that? Do you remember anything about that? Because I think they used them to fill them with sand or something like that. They used the material that they would have made stockings out of to make sandbags or something like that for bunkers or some kind of ordeal. I didn't know if you would remember or not. Because those were like a hot commodity to have a pair of stockings without holes in them.
Nylons.
Nylons. That's the nylons.
Yeah. We used to. The news had come out that there was some store that was selling nylons. Everybody'd be down there get a pair.
And what about during the wars, like especially World War II? How did that affect you guys? What did you know about it over here, like in the news? And
well, we knew everything that.
Lindsay, there's tomatoes from Nancy.
Okay.
What?
It's fine.
What?
I'm recording.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
What's the matter, old lady?
So about the war, so how did that affect you guys, especially since all the, do you know something?
War?
Yeah, World War II.
Oh my God, Lindsay, we had to save like tin cans. We had to take the labels off and take both ends out and smash them. That was, everybody saved them they used them in the war, to make war things like guns or something. I don't know what. I can't remember, but yeah, we did that. We used to drain the grease like from bacon or even beef, and it would go into cans and they'd pick them up, and that was something they had to have to make something at the war. So we had to do that.
That was the law? That was from like the city? They would say you have to do this? Every family must?
During, let's see.
World War II, I believe, ended in 44,
Was during,
45, 46.
Oh, it's miserable.
She's recording.
You can come in.
Well, we're gonna go make Grandma's bed.
I can do that. Just leave it. I'll do it. Don't worry. You guys
What?
can do to make your bed. But I said I'll do it. Don't worry. So you had to do that. So you had to hold on to a lot of stuff. And then you turned it over. So did you guys get government coupons and things like that?
Yeah, we used to get meat coupons, sugar coupons. I think that's it.
I'll do it. Just leave them on the bed.
Oh. Oh.
Toasty. Now she's gonna be like, don't take it. I mean, what was that like, having to control what?
Huh?
What was it like having to control what you guys would eat, or what you didn't actually have control over what you would eat? How did that feel? Like helpless for everyone, or?
Well, that's the way it was, and you just did it, or, you know.
Do you think part of those issues is part of why you became a collector too? How did you become a collector of apples and, plates and all the things you've collected? Where do you think that came from, that desire?
I don't know. I guess.
Where's the baby?
He's asleep
don't
on the
know.
bed.
Where?
Asleep on John's bed.
No, he's not.
So maybe he went downstairs. He was under the brown blanket.
He's not.
Well, then he went downstairs. Let me go check where my kid is at.